The following was brought on after seeing more than enough nonsense being spoken about among all the other genres. Hip-hop is the highest ranking. Now, this might be more understood if you're like me, someone who listens to multiple genres, but this is intended for listening by those that have the time to hear out another's view on the matter. For the longest time, I've been seeing too many things revolving hip-hop as a target for much negative scrutiny, especially from those that respect the old school and or underground versus the current mainstream presence. Now, this is not to say there's no infighting with the fan base of other genres, but I'm singling out hip-hop because it seems to be the one that I've seen more non-fans take their time to insult and complain about it than I'll ever see the alternative. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just fated to see what's led me to talk about this, but if you go up to anyone you know that clearly loves rap and or hip-hop, and so much as ask them about any other music, they might give varied levels of disgust, but nothing compared to most others that take the time out their day into sounding 10 times worse than whatever they said, even going as far as using racial slurs and surnames. Now, the music of the streets, no matter what era you're focused on, should be treated like any other genre, because, like any of them, there's the stuff that your children can listen to, and then there's the stuff that even most adults need earmuffs for, because it usually depicts an expression of life that, regardless of what race you are, most grown folks aren't even ready for that or don't want to be near it. Now, in that case, if it's a matter of content that's one's bashing, then they clearly don't understand that it's stereotyped just as bad as any race of human beings. So, if you're one that's sick of the shootings and violence and defamation of women, and even general masculinity, that's spoken about by the media, then let no one be safe. Let's take the crying and complaining out of country and emo, all the deft and oft indistinct lyrics of metal, all the themes of love and passion from house and dance, and throw in the added nonsense of people living outside of the origin of a genre should stick with their own and leave it to the original. Can you imagine how compromising that would be to a more open-minded musician who dares to experiment, even reinvent themselves by doing that? Now, I could also go on about the look of the genre today versus 10 or more years ago, but then I'd be ignoring the evolution of, for example, rock music, from the era of Buddy Holly to Led Zeppelin to Warrant to even Gecht. There were big steps in what's come, and why? Can we give credit or blame a group of people's demands for fresh entertainment? Discovering new forms of expression within the existing ones? Or maybe even people that want to break from the shallow chain of sticking with the genre that one's race is staple to, thanks to the clandestine pact between the media and the sheep they shear of common sense and self-reliant thought and free will. See, it's because of that we have people like Jin, Lenny Kravitz, LeJean Witherspoon, and too many other artists that prove that not only could they stand up to a race-dominated empire, but prove that the genre can and will be appreciated by those that have the mentality to embrace it, regardless of surroundings, peers, and closed-minded plebeians. And if you wish to remain closed off to it, or other genres because of personal or even religious reasons, I understand. But to come out of your mouth and throw dirt on something just to get yourself served on makes you no better than the artist you're wrongfully disrespecting.